Trump is bringing back tariffs on China. The markets are panicking, but I don't care. You want to know why? I don't trade news, I trade price. While everybody else is watching CNBC or doom scrolling Twitter, I'm just sitting back and I'm waiting for one thing: the stock RSI to hit my zones. And when it does, I buy and sell with confidence. No guesswork and no stress. So let's talk about it real quick. You see, Donald Trump made headlines again this week, saying he plans to reintroduce massive tariffs on Chinese goods. And the market reacted instantly. Tech stocks slipped, traders freaked out, and everybody started trying to predict what's going to happen next. Here's the truth: you can't predict the news, and you definitely can't predict how the market will react to the news. Sometimes bad news pumps the market, sometimes good news gets sold off. It's complete chaos. But here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me. See, price action already knows the news. If you wait for the perfect technical setup, you don't have to care why the market moves. You just ride the move when it comes. So while most traders are reacting emotionally, we're just sitting calm and patient. We're waiting for the stock RSI to dip below 5 or spike above 95. Then we wait for that cross to confirm momentum. That's it. 2 to 3 solid setups a month, each one with potential for 10 to 15%. Now, compound that, and you're growing your account 30% a month. So let's break that down. $5,000 compounded at 30% a month is equal to over $116K a year. And you didn't need to time earnings or read the Fed's minutes or guess what Trump is going to say next. It's by looking at the charts only a couple times a month. Just one clean setup and one repeatable system. So let's jump into TradingView right now. And I'll pull up a recent chart and I'll show you exactly how I caught a move using only the stock RSI. No news and no hype. Alright, so we're in TradingView now, and first things first, we're going to add the stock RSI to the chart. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up here to indicators, type in stochastic RSI, and make sure you favorite it. And then once you do that and you click on stock RSI, it will pop up down here. You can make it bigger or smaller. Now, I just like to leave it on the default settings, so you don't need to change anything there. But here's the most important part. So we're only looking to take trades when the stock RSI is either below 5 or above 95. So let me say that again: below 5 or above 95. These are your high probability zones, and when the stock RSI is below 5, it means the asset is extremely oversold relative to its recent movement, and when it's above 95, it's extremely overbought. So to help us visualize these levels, we're going to draw a red horizontal line on 95. So let's throw that in there. And we're going to throw a horizontal line at 5. I like to use green. But here's the key: we don't just blindly enter, we wait for the cross. So if the %K line, the blue line, crosses above the %D line, the orange one, while we're under the 5 level, that's our signal to go long. It means momentum is shifting back upward from a deeply oversold position, and opposite for shorts, when we are above the 95 line and the %K line crosses below the %D, that's our cue to short or exit this long. So let me show an example of how this would have worked out on a 4-hour chart. We're on the 4-hour chart now, and as you can see, price dipped below the 5 line. This would have been your signal to buy, so you would have bought in somewhere in here. If you would have followed this indicator and sold in the 95, you would have gotten a 10 to 11% gain on your money. This trade would have taken 2 days to play out. Now this one, similar, bought and sold 3.89%, bought and sold 5.79%, bought and sold 1.83%, and this one's playing out right now. But if you would have bought down here, that's 10.39% to right here, and it looks like it should be coming into the 95 levels soon. Now a bonus tip is if you pair this with basic support and resistance or trendline zones, your accuracy skyrockets. So we're not trying to catch every move, we're just trying to catch the best ones and let probability play out. But if you would have taken these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades in roughly 38 days, you would have made 32.47%. If you would have started with $1,000, you would have made 324, and if you would have started with 10,000, you would have made 3,247. Now, I'd say that's a very good return for barely looking at the charts. So let's look at another coin instead of Bitcoin. Let's go to Sui. Okay, so now let's do the same thing with Sui. So you would have bought and sold almost 30%, bought and sold, would have taken a small loss of 2.24%. Bought and sold 7.79% gain, bought and sold 9.2% gain, and here is the current one. So you would have bought and still be riding it, but it should be playing out soon for almost a 30% gain, but we'll see how this one plays out. So if this one sticks around 30%, that would mean that this, in the last 35 days, using this method trading Sui, you would have made a return of 71.14%, which means that if you started with $1,000, you'd make $710, and if you started with 10 grand, then you would have made $7,114. Okay, so let's compare that to if you would have just bought on the first day of this trend and sold today, you'd be down 6%. So as you can see, following the RSI gives you a lot more upside because you're following when it is oversold and overbought. I started this strategy a couple months ago and I'm on track right now. So I started with 5K and I'm shooting to make 30% return every month. Now at the end of that month, I will be reinvesting my money back into the next trade for the next month so that I let it compound over the year. So by letting it compound, my investment should be doubled, which it is after 3 months. Now, by the end of the year, that $5,000 should earn a total interest of $111,000, which would bring my total portfolio amount to about $116,000. And that's only for 1 year. If I did this for 2 straight years compounding every month, then that initial $5,000 would be worth $2.7 million in just 2 years. But the trick is to just stick with it because it will not seem like you're making much money at all in the beginning. See, when you just start out, this is with starting with 5,000. When you're just starting out, you might only make 1,500 in the first month, and then from there it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing until month 11 you make 84 grand. And here is another visual for you showing if you would have started with 5K and how it compounds every month. Now the same goes for if you invest with a smaller amount or a bigger amount. It doesn't really matter. If you're aiming for a 30% return, which I believe you could do with the power of compounding, that would mean that every year your money is making about a 20 to 22x return. So if you started with $1,000, that $1,000 would turn into $22,000. If you started with $10,000, that would be roughly $222,000. Now this doesn't mean go out and put all your $10,000 in your piggy bank into a exchange and start trading with the $10,000. I want you to still start out with, even if it's just $100. Okay, start out small, get the hang of it, learn how to use the RSIs properly, which time frame you like, stuff like that. So take your time and let the power of compounding help you with this. Just keep trying to make 30% a month and take small trades and just get in and get out. Okay, the market's very volatile right now. You don't want to be sticking in it for too long. Just get in and get out with a nice, decent return. Now this is the exact kind of setup that we focus on in my trading community, Freedom Traders. I build it for people who want to trade smart, stay consistent, and grow their accounts without staring at the charts all day and stressing out over news. Right now, I'm offering a free 2-week trial to Freedom Traders so you can jump in, test it out, and see if it's the right fit for you. If you don't like it for any reason, no problem. Get your money back, no questions asked. We've got daily trade calls, strategies, a tight-knit group of traders, all using the same simple system to get insane results. So click the link below to join Freedom Traders, and I'll see you inside.